Hey guys, welcome back to the Pruning Podcast. I'm your host, Ataya Smith, and welcome back, guys, for another episode. I'm so excited for this episode because we have Ashlyn Hanks with Local Love Louisiana on the podcast. Welcome to the podcast, Ashlyn.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you. I just love, you're just so full of joy and, your spirit and just, the meaning behind local love. And I remember me and Abby, we were talking about it at TFC one day, and I didn't even know you at the time. And I didn't even know Abby knew you. But she's like, yeah, and, Ashlyn Hanks coming up with Local Love Louisiana. We just have so many, Christian, business owners starting in Louisiana. And I just love that. And I just love your content. And so I'm just so excited to talk with you all about it.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I do agree, though. There's a lot of really talented Christians in this area, and it's kind of unheard of.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be one of them.
Literally. And so the question I have for you to start off the podcast is the question I ask all my first guests on the Pruning Podcast is, what's one thing that God has currently been pruning you on in this season?
Yeah. So I would say it's probably getting out of your comfort zone, which I always thought I was really good at doing that.
Yeah.
But I think since becoming a mom and season shifting and having a baby, there's so many things that have been new.
Yeah.
That can be a bit uncomfortable. And so I think I'm learning how to get through that right now, which is a good thing because it stretches you to be better. Yeah.
That's really good. So walk us through, just give us I guess a little testimony of a little bit about you, where Local Love originated from, and just the heart behind it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I grew up in Lafayette, Louisiana, in the country. So I love living here. I've always loved Louisiana.
Yeah.
I was homeschooled my whole life. Wow. So that was different. And trying to fit in certain situations was interesting. But I always felt you know what, I'm just going to be myself.
Yeah.
And so Local Love was one of those things that came out of nowhere because my husband and I had just gotten engaged, and I was a few months away from getting married. And I literally was like, God, you're going to have to provide something for me in this season because I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I tried working 9 to 5 and I just felt my spirit. It was not for me. I don't know. I was I have something more for you.
Yeah.
So literally one day I had a business reach out to me and was like, hey, would you mind just going and leaving a review? Just go to the business and film yourself there and just say you went.
Yeah.
Said, okay, that's kind of strange, random, but all right, I'll go.
Yeah.
And I posted about it on Facebook and it blew up. And then the next day I had a business reach out and say the exact same thing. And so that just kind of started. And I was like, okay, God, I think this is you answering my prayer because I did not expect this at all.
Yeah.
So, it's just kind of grown. It's crazy to see how far it's come.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would take off like it has, but that's God. You know, he just does stuff.
Yeah.
So, literally this month, it's the month's not over and we've reached over 800,000 people.
Wow. That's crazy.
I'm okay, I see you, God.
I see you, God. That's so good. And so, I guess, so you were homeschooled.
Yeah.
So, some people are homeschooled, but they in homeschool groups. So was it just you in homeschool?
We did homeschool groups. My brother and I were both homeschooled. We did homeschool groups, but my mom was really good at putting us in all kinds of things. I was in tennis, I was in swimming, I was in sewing lessons, I did dancing, I did gymnastics. Girl had me in everything. I could play instruments. And then my parents started an athletic organization for homeschoolers, and then it's now number 1 in the state. So I was able to kind of integrate doing that.
Yeah.
And not come out as a weird homeschooler.
Yeah.
You know?
So what was, I guess, because it's nowadays, because I knew I didn't want to go to college, that just was not in the books for me. I was like, yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Right.
So what, because you didn't go to college, right?
I didn't.
So how was that? Because it's you're homeschooled. Yeah. Most people, their next step is college, but your next step was, I think you got engaged after, I seen.
Yeah, when I was 23.
Oh, how old are you?
24.
Wow. Okay. So how was that shift from graduating to not going to college, and then that shift from not going to college to getting engaged to this season?
I worked a few jobs and tried to figure things out, and I think that's where God was showing me that I don't know. I couldn't actually, because I was homeschooled, being in a box all day was not going to work, because homeschooling is really flexible.
Yeah.
Midday, we are shopping at the store and Target. People are like, what are you doing not in school? I don't know. I just needed more flexibility, and that season was interesting, but really cool, because my soon-to-be husband and I were able to grow in our relationship with each other. And it was just a time that I really needed to just figure myself out.
Yeah. So how did y'all meet if you're homeschooled?
We were actually through the athletic program that my parents started. He was a football player and I was a cheerleader. And we met when we were 14. And literally when we saw each other, we both say that. I asked him the other day, I was like, do you still believe that? And he's like, yeah. Like literally the first time we saw each other, it was love at first sight. And we were 14 years old. Who would have thought we'd actually be married now with a baby? But crazy love story kind of thing. Yeah.
And so like, I kind of want to like talk about that first before hopping into Local Love, because it's like y'all met, you didn't have like, at least I don't think you had, did y'all have community or like were y'all plugged in to church?
I was really plugged into my church, and he actually
church
started coming. Family Life. Yeah.
Oh, that's right by my church. I go to one church, and it's like the road after Family Life.
It is.
So like, how was like walking through like that season as being like not so? Because it's like most people we date in high school or we're dating and we're like in school together. We see each other. So like, how was like that relationship leading to engagement? Like, you know, walking through the person you're going to marry and meeting him and all those kind of things.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of like everyone in high school, even though like we still saw each other very often because we still had practice. So like we would see each other every day at practice. And we still had the same situations of high school because, you know, there was other guys on the team and there was other cheerleaders and like we had homecoming and prom and all the same things. We just weren't in like a school environment.
Yeah.
But there was challenges because we dated for 9 years before we got married.
Yeah.
You know, like we hit 9 years right before we got married. And it was just crazy that a lot of people did not make it.
Yeah.
And we did. But it also came with its own challenges of, you know, we waited for marriage and that's a huge, most people don't believe us. They're like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I did.
Yeah.
Trust me, I earned that. I did.
Yeah.
And yeah, he grew a lot as I watched him literally become from a boy to a man.
Oh, yeah.
And same thing with me and towards him, you know, so very interesting, long story.
Yeah.
It would take, I would probably write a book one day about it because it's so interesting.
Yeah.
So many different things.
Yeah. So like, what was like the journey between like motherhood and like, because you know, you're a new mother, balancing that and like starting your business and just like managing the two of those?
I think I needed Local Love. Like, I think in the beginning, I was trying to figure out how I was going to be able to do both and if it was even possible because I've never been a mom before. I don't know. I could definitely say the first month after having a baby is really hard. It was for me.
Yeah.
Just the healing process and trying to adjust and the lack of sleep, all of those things. But when I finally found my rhythm, I was like, okay, I need something else to do besides just sit around all day because that's what you end up doing with a newborn.
Yeah.
So getting back into it, I was literally 3 weeks postpartum and I had gone to my like the first business that reached out to me and everyone was like, you're crazy. What are you doing? I was like, I got to get back into my rhythm. Otherwise I'm going to go crazy. Yeah. So Local Love has helped me not be home all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm a stay-at-home mom. This is like Local Love's my job. So like I feel like I needed to get back into the rhythm of doing life. And I feel like it's really good for moms to have something outside of motherhood.
Yeah.
Like because motherhood doesn't define you.
Yeah.
You know, it's a part of you, but it's not you. And you still need your thing.
Yeah. And I feel like that's good that you identified that because I feel like most people like they step into they're stepping into motherhood or they're stepping into marriage, whatever it is. And it's like, okay, now my identity is rooted in like being a wife or like now my identity is rooting in being a mom. So it's like good that like you found like that separation and it's like, yes, I'm a mom, but like I also have this business that I'm going to pursue.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's so like looked down on nowadays. It's like you're a stay-at-home mom, so stay home and be a stay-at-home mom.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so I just love that like you're so confident, like you have this business and you're like, no, like I'm a mom and I'm a business owner.
Right. Because even in my relationship with Elijah, like I loved him and we had a relationship, but I wasn't going to just you know, skip out on all my friends and life stuff to just go be hanging out with him. I think that's something that our teenagers these days are like, I just got to be with you all the time, 24/7. And if we're not together, then you hate me. And that's just not true. And it's not healthy either. Because even when you're married, like I barely see him. He works all day. And he comes home and we eat dinner together and then we go to bed. Yeah. That's just life. And so if you rely on that person to be with you 24/7 when you're dating, it's going to be a rude awakening when you get married because it's just not like that. Yeah. So definitely whenever you get married, you have to have something that's yours.
Yeah. And as we can tell, like you walk in so much confidence. Like you're so confident. I don't know if anyone has ever told you that, but you're so confident. And like, I guess to do what you do, you have to be confident. So I guess where did that confidence like uproot from? Was there a time where you like were walking through insecurity and God like gained you that? Like, how did you get to be so confident?
I get, yeah. I mean, it's interesting to look at yourself and have other people say that you're confident, because I feel like everybody struggles with things.
Yeah.
Because like I've always struggled with self-image. Like when I was 13, I started starving myself. Like I wanted to be skinny because I was tired of being called fat, or, you know, I just struggled with a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think a lot of women hate the way they look.
Yeah.
And that's a strong word, but it's true. Like you look at yourself every day. And so I don't know. Through high school, I had a lot of people let me down. I've had a lot of friends let me down.
Yeah.
And really having to rely on God, because he was the only person that was my best friend outside of my mom.
Yeah.
And like my mom and I talk about everything, but I feel like if your relationship with God is shaky, it's really hard for you to stand on that.
Yeah.
And he was the one person I always ran back to, and he was able to help grow me through high school.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you don't grow through high school, that's why you see a lot of adults still not grown.
Yeah.
They're still trying to figure out where they need to be planted.
Yeah.
And I guess I just leaned on him a lot, and I was grateful for the trials and being uninvited to parties and events and things in high school that allowed me to have the chance to grow, because it allowed me to kind of, you know, there's not much people could say that could hurt my feelings anymore.
Yeah.
And there's not much that I can't get through.
Yeah.
Which is why now getting through postpartum, it's a whole nother thing. Because again, my number one insecurity was the way I looked when I was younger.
Yeah.
You hit postpartum and you're like, wow, you really can nitpick yourself to death.
Yeah.
And yeah, if it wasn't for God just being like, you're more than the way you look, you're supplying a whole human.
Yeah.
Like you're keeping this person alive.
Yeah.
Your body just went through something crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess my confidence just comes from him, and just knowing that no matter what I'm going through, he's still going to be there.
Yeah.
And he's still constant.
Yeah. That's so good. And like with Local Love, like, you like you said, you didn't expect it to like take off like how it did. So like, I guess like, did you ever have a point in that journey to where it's like, you said you started a year and a half ago, I saw. And so like throughout that process, has there been like times to where it's like, God, like, why am I doing this? Or have there been moments of doubt in this business? And I know like content creation is takes a lot of time, a lot of editing and all that kind of stuff. So like, has there been like moments of doubt throughout that journey?
Yes, because putting yourself on social media is a risk, you know? Like I am videoing myself and putting myself out there every single day. Yeah. And so I'm sure there's people that I even know that are not sure why I'm doing that. And I've had stuff to say about it. Yeah. Also seeing a girl shove a hamburger down is kind of weird at points, you know? Yeah. So it is vulnerable. Yeah. But I always refer back to the seasons in people and businesses that have flourished. Yeah. Like just this week, last week I did a video on a snowball stand that's new. Like literally,
I think I saw it in Dusson.
Yes, they were freshly open like a week. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go do a random surprise pop-in. And I do those very rarely. Yeah. And I went back yesterday, and literally I pulled up and my husband was ordering. They didn't see me in the back seat. And then I rolled the window down and they were like, oh my gosh, she came back. Like we've never sold so many strawberry cheesecake snowballs. We had to name it a deluxe snowball because so many. They were like, we have old people driving all over the place going, we want whatever this girl has on her phone. That is so funny. Yeah, so to see like other businesses flourishing because you just decided to post a video is worth it to me. Yeah. So in the seasons where we're slower, I'm always like trying to be more creative. Yeah. Like I never want to stay stagnant and not move. Like I want to just always, be on top of it and do the best that I possibly can. So even in the seasons where there's like doubt or like, why am I doing this? Yeah. I can always refer back to like the statistics of like, wow, it really is working. Yeah. So,
and like, do you do only Louisiana, or like are you planning to like take this?
So originally it was Louisiana, but I started doing some stuff in Mississippi, and I had 2 different platforms, and I was like, I think I'm just gonna merge them both. Yeah. So now it's really just Local Love, and like Local Love Louisiana will always be me because I'm a Louisiana girl. Yeah. But really, I'm gonna be able to share Local Love wherever. So I'm planning on anywhere I go, if there's a really cool spot, why not feature it? Yeah. So like we expanded to Mississippi, and those businesses have done really well. There's a bagel shop there that I did a random pop-in. Yeah. And they literally closed for the summer because they couldn't keep up with business. They needed to expand the building that they're in because they can't keep up. Yeah. So,
and like, how does it feel that like you're making like such an impact? Because there's this person on TikTok, I can't think of his name. He's Keith Lee. Is that his name? Yeah. And so like he kind of like he's viral from that. Like, and like all of these business, like I've seen so many testimonies of people like, oh my gosh, like my business is shutting down, and like he came and made one video and have made like this big impact. So like, how does it feel to know that like you hold like such an impactful thing, and like yet you're like, this is something I love, and I didn't think it would be so impactful to these people.
Yeah. I don't take it lightly. I think it's important. And a lot of the businesses I feature are local families just trying to put food on their table.
Yeah.
And knowing that one video can make a difference, it's like, why not show up? Why not go? Businesses reach out to me and they tell me that I can, like, you know, like that's a lot of times people book through my website. But yeah, it's so interesting how God can take your platform to places you never thought it could go.
Yeah.
And your platform being your life, but also like we do have social media. Why are we the generation with social media and not the generation before us? Like apparently God wanted to use it somehow in our life.
Yeah.
So I view it like that sometimes, and it really is cool because I know people can see Jesus in you.
Yeah.
Whether they know what that is or not, they know that there's something different in you.
Yeah.
So it's cool to know that there's so many people getting to view what I put out there, because it's covered in literally the hand of God.
Yeah. I feel like you have like such a strong accent. Do people tell you that? I don't know why.
Really?
I feel like it. I'm like, your accent. I'm like, I've grew up in Lafayette, Louisiana, and I don't feel like I have an accent. But I'm like, oh my gosh, you have such an accent.
What is it? Like, what
I don't
are you
like.
hearing?
Like, I don't know, like a country Cajun. That's what it is. A country Cajun accent.
Do y'all hear it? No way.
I definitely hear that. So, how do you get like a lot of hate comments? I've always wondered that. Like, do people ever hate on you?
Yeah, totally.
So how do you deal with that? Like, what do people say, and like, does that ever discourage you? Or
I mean, I think everyone's human. So yeah, those comments definitely every now and then you're like, wow, okay. I posted a video on a bakery and I said the name wrong. It was an undercover video.
Yeah.
So I didn't ask them their name. I just like assumed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Karens went crazy in the comments. And so the owner actually saw the video. And she responded back and she said, I don't care how you pronounce the name of my business. I'm just glad you came and did a video on it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, pop off, queen. But yeah, there's definitely people out there who just like to hate.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily hate on what I do. They just like to hate on a business either. And I'm like, it's literally local love. Like it's called love. Like we're loving here.
Yeah.
We're not hating.
Yeah.
So sometimes
and like I know like a lot of girls like walk through that and like caring about what other people think. I honestly think that's like what stops people from pursuing social media, because of other people's opinions. And like I know for me, like whenever I first started my podcast, I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like that's weird. I don't want people to look at me talk, or like what if I say the wrong thing or stuff like that. And so it's like I always just wonder, like, how do people navigate that and be like, okay, I don't care what y'all think, like I'm doing this for me. Because I see so many TikToks of people like, yeah, like I'm just gonna block everyone I'm following and not like, so I can post what I want. So it's just like getting to that place of like not caring and just becoming confident in who you are and what you do. And so can you just talk about like the importance of becoming confident in Local Love and like having faith in that brand and not just doing it from a place of insecurity?
Yeah. Well, people are going to hate until they see it be successful.
Yeah.
You know, I've had people in my life who I'm not friends with them. I'm not close to them. And then it comes to the grapevine of they said that they're best friends with me. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Good to know. Or just, you know, things that people have said, and then all of a sudden, like, their whole heart changes because, wow, like, things are actually working out for this person, and I don't want to be on the wrong side. And it's just, you know, I'm not someone, I don't hate people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have enemies. I don't even like blocking people. Like, seriously. Like, I don't feel right about that. I want everyone to love me for me, and I'm love you for you. It doesn't matter. And so that is difficult when people choose to take a side because of what you've chosen to do with your life.
Yeah.
But when you know where God's leading you and the purpose and plan that He has for your life, it just kind of doesn't matter. And again, like the things I went through in high school have allowed me to just kind of just have this wall up of protection of just, you know, I don't fully trust anybody.
Yeah.
Because what if they have a motive?
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I don't want to hate on you for no reason.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I think God's used all those things as a protection mode so that when I got older, things didn't bother me quite as much as they would bother someone who had never gone through that. And it would be like, wow, I'm just crying all day, you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes the comments are just mean.
Yeah.
But, or just the feeling that you get from people. But, like, I went through Chick-fil-A the other day, and the girl was taking my orders like, wait, I know you. You do this. I follow you on TikTok. I was like, yeah, I do that. And, like, it's just cool to have people, even they don't know you personally. Yeah. Sometimes they're your biggest fans.
Yeah.
And you have no idea.
Yeah. And it's like you make such an impact. And so, like, how is, like, so I was just talking about this on another episode with someone. It's like, because she started her business, she just quit her job, and because God told her to quit and do it, and she did it in 3 days. I was like, oh, wow. So, like, how is walking through that season of unknown? Because you don't know what the future holds. You don't know if this is, you know, a 5-year thing, a 10-year thing. Like, how is walking through that season of unknown? Because you just take it day by day, but it's not like, you know, 10 years from now, I'm guaranteed that I'm going to be here.
Yeah. I mean, I just trust that he has my future. Like, literally, I have friends that struggle with anxiety, like, really bad.
Yeah.
And I just can't, like, it's not that I can't relate. I can. But I'm like, listen, I literally give everything to God. If he doesn't want me doing this tomorrow, then I'll stop. Yeah. But I also know, like, I want to grow my family. Yeah. My unknown is also, how do I do this with more kids? How do I do this as my baby gets older and life gets a little crazier? I also thought I thought people would think it was so weird for a pregnant girl to be videoing herself every single day. Yeah. And I really was like, I don't think I'm going to do this pregnant. Yeah. And everyone was like, why not? I think it's 10 times cooler that you're pregnant. Yeah. It's like, really? Yeah. So doing it pregnant and then having a baby and then managing it all, like, literally I strap her to me. And so like, I'm making it happen. If God doesn't want it to work out, then then it's literally going to be him being like, all right, cut you out. But, like, I don't know. I just trust that he just has it. And I think that's what people lack, is just the full surrender to God and your life. Yeah.
And, like, what's something, like, walking through, like, motherhood and, like, this business owner, you know, this business that, like, God has revealed to you, like, in your identity and, like, being a mother to Wavy and all of that?
I think he showed me that people actually really do love you in every season, because I was always told by certain people that, oh, if you're not, I've literally had people tell me, if you're not single, you're not going to be as successful. Wow. And there were different opportunities that I was given that people told me, don't get married. You're not going to be as successful if you're married, because you're not going to look single, and people like more of the single look, you know, pretty single girl. And I'm like, well, I can't pause my whole life for this. Yeah. So I think God has showed me that fulfilling, like, your desire in your heart to have a family and, like, to have a husband. I've always wanted to be married. Yeah. And then to have a family, like, those were things I wanted, and he was still going to fulfill the calling on my life. Yeah. Paired with that too. Yeah. And so when I walk into business and have a baby, they're not like, oh, you have a baby, you brought your baby? Really? They're like, oh my gosh, how old is she? Yeah. And it changes everything. And I think I'm able to just, I don't know, to relate with other women in a way I couldn't before. Yeah. Like, I had no idea working moms are able to do A, B, C, D, all the way to Z. Yeah. And you still carrying and taking care of a baby, but you're doing this so well. And, like, how? Yeah. It's a lot of work. Yeah. But it's definitely possible. So I just respect them so much more.
Yeah. And how has, like, becoming a mom, like, shift your perspective, like, on the mom you've had? Because, like, it's like your mom, she homeschooled y'all, like, she raised y'all, and now it's like you're in that shift of becoming a mom and raising your daughter and starting your own business. So, like, how has that, like, shifted your perspective?
It changes everything. Like, I did not think it would change me this much, but it seriously changes everything. I have so much more respect for the role of a parent and for what they did and their sacrifice, and just, and sacrifice of being home with us every day, because she was a stay-at-home mom who homeschooled us every single day. Yeah. So she sacrificed her own self and the things that she wanted for us. Yeah. So, I have a totally different view and respect for her and for my dad, and just parents all around the world who do this all the time. Yeah. It's a hard job, but it's so rewarding.
Yeah. So do you, like, want more kids?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't think I would after being pregnant. I'm not going to say it. Pregnancy is not my favorite thing. Yeah. But the end result of pregnancy, the moment that I held my baby for the first time, I think I'd want to feel that again. It's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah. So did you suffer with, like, postpartum? and stuff like that. Cause I hear a lot of, cause I don't know, I'm not a mom yet, but I hear like a lot of women struggle with like postpartum, and like I know you talked about a little like loving yourself and like dealing with that, and then like your husband works full time, and then you have this full time business. So like, how was that walking through that and like loving her correctly?
Yeah, I don't think I struggled as much with it in the beginning because I had a lot more, people popping in and help. And I think the one thing about postpartum is that it can feel lonely. Yeah. Like you're home by yourself, especially like I'm a stay-at-home mom. So like you're home by yourself and you feel like you have all this to do, yet your baby just wants you to hold you. Yeah. Hold her. Because like she doesn't want me to put her down. Yeah. I'm like, I need to like change the laundry at least once today. Yeah. Like I didn't actually need to get dressed today. Yeah. And so I think those things have been adjustments. It's an emotional roller coaster. Yeah. All the way around. Just because your hormones are crazy. And so I think if you're not in a good place, it could definitely mess with your mind. Yeah. But I feel like if you're a strong person and like you're trusting and leaning on God, it really does help keep you sane. Yeah. Because being a parent is a huge adjustment. Yeah. And like, I can see how people can struggle with some major things. Yeah, like I would love to, I can't wait to be a mom, but I'm like, Lordy, it's like, I guess, did you ever have that moment of like, I need to do all these things first before I can get pregnant? And I know you had a honeymoon baby, right? It wasn't a honeymoon baby. We were 3 months married, but it definitely kind of felt like it because the 3 months is not a long time. And it wasn't like we were like, we want to wait 2 years. And then we were just so shocked. Like we truly were like, whenever God wants to give us a baby, that's fine. Yeah. But there's a part of you that kind of grieves the season that you and your husband had before having kids. Yeah. That's, I think, what we found is like we would find ourselves just being like, wow, it might be our last time going to church, just us. Yeah. It might be our last date night, just us. Yeah. And that reality doesn't set in until like you're pregnant and you're like, wow, we're actually having a baby. Like we're not, there's not like, oh, well, one day. Yeah. No, like it's coming. It's coming and it's coming fast. So life changes quickly. And I think we grieved some of the time that we maybe wish we would have been able to like go on trips or be more flexible. Yeah. But it truly is the most fulfilling experience. And I think it's a lie because, like you said, like, was there anything that I wasn't able to do or it felt like I couldn't do? It's a lie. The enemy tries to make you believe that, well, you can't be all of these things with kids. Yeah. You can't be all of these things and be a mom. Yeah. And that's just not true. I feel like if anything, she has allowed me to see and become a person and broaden my perspective on so many things that I feel like I can do things better. Yeah. Because I can understand them deeper. Yeah. Like, that's so good. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it's like God's so intentional because he knew you needed to be a mom, and like his plans like always work out for the best for us. And I think that can be a hard thing to realize, especially like for us women, we're control freaks. We like to control everything that happens in our lives. And so that's just such a good and crazy experience. And like, it's so crazy because it's almost time to wrap it up, but I do have a few more questions. So like, what does your secret place look like now compared to then? Like, what does that time like you spend with the Lord look like now with motherhood, being a wife, than like whenever it was just you and it was all about you? I'm not gonna lie, it's harder. It's harder to find time for those things because honestly, a lot of the time you're just like, I'm just tired. Yeah. Like, I'm tired. It's 5 a.m. I'm holding this baby. And honestly, there's been moments where I'm like, I'm opening the Bible and like I'm trying to hold a baby and a Bible, and like you can only look so far. You can only read so far. Yeah. Like, okay, well, you know what, Lord, you know where my heart is. Yeah. I read a few verses. Yeah. Allow this to saturate me however it needs to. Yeah. And I'm just I've always struggled with praying because like I said, I literally trust God to the nth degree. So I'm like, why do I need to pray? Like he already knows where I'm at. Like, I just give it to you, Lord, everything. But I think since having a baby, I've become more of a prayerful person because I'm like covering her. Yeah. And I'm like, sometimes that's the only time I have with the Lord. Yeah. So in the car, I'm like just talking to him. Yeah. Like sometimes it's just knowing like God knows your heart and your season. Yeah. And like it's a harder season in that regard. Yeah. And also like in church, she needs to eat as soon as worship's over. Yeah. So most of the time I'm not even in service to like get a word. Yeah. So you just like, I'm hearing little snippets from the audio that's happening in the nursing mother's room, and you're just like, okay, like this is just reality. Yeah. But it's good. Yeah. Yeah. It's good. It's like a good change. So to wrap up the episode,
I guess like what piece of advice would you give to that person who's currently like in the season of, okay, like I have this business idea, I want to start it, but like I'm scared, like I don't want people to think I'm weird, like I'm walking into this new season, like I'm just scared to take that step.
I mean, hey, you can never succeed unless you try.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're scared. A lot of people are scared of failure, but what if you're never going to try?
Yeah.
I just put yourself out there.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us doubt our talents and like what we have to give.
Yeah.
But if it's only for one person, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Just like ministry. So for me, like if it would have just been to help one business and to make that one connection,
Yeah.
it would be worth it.
Yeah.
But here we are, and God's literally taken your, 2 loaves of bread and multiplied it for all these people.
And now you're like booked for the whole month.
Right.
Which is crazy.
It's pretty crazy. So yeah, I guess just put yourself out there and at least try.
Yeah.
Because what could possibly happen?
Yeah,
You don't know.
you never know.
Yeah.
And you never know who you may be blessing through this.
That's right.
And it's so awesome that it's coming from like a local, like Louisiana. Because I feel like people think of Louisiana, they're like, they don't got nothing over there. You're right. Like, and it's like you have enhanced everything about Louisiana. It's like, okay, now I want to go to all these places. Like, you search on TikTok, like where to go in Florida. There's nothing like that for Louisiana. And now like we have that, which is so exciting. And it's just so great because I'm all about entrepreneurship. I have a podcast. I'm a realtor. I do like 50 different things. And so I just love when people like take things into their own lane,
Yeah.
and like pursue that, because everyone wants to, work a 9 to 5 now. It's the popular thing. And it's like when you're like, no, I think I'm gonna start my own business. It's weird.
It's kind of scary,
Yeah.
but it works.
Literally. And so I'm so grateful to have you on the podcast. And I'm just so blessed that you said yes. Honestly, didn't think you would. I reach out to a lot of people, and I'm like, God, I give this to you. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm just so grateful for your yes, and just thank you for all you're doing for Lafayette, Louisiana. And yeah, we love you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Well, bye, guys. I pray y'all enjoy this episode as much as I have. If you don't know Ashlyn, go follow her on Local Love Louisiana. That's the name of the page, right? Yes. And just stay up to date with all that's happening in Louisiana. And I love you guys. Bye.